Mike Lindell was holding a 3-day Cyber Symposium in August of 2021, right? Mm-hmm. And he had the promise that he would present irrefutable evidence of election fraud in 2020 elections, okay? And you attended the event with a journalist, Donnie O'Sullivan, if I'm not mistaken. CNN. Correct me on any of this if I'm saying that. And then at the end of it, you said there was a pile of nothing and found no proof of election fraud. Do you still stand by that?
Absolutely. And actually, even before that, Mike Lindell's claim, what he has, were fundamentally impossible. That kind of data he claimed to have doesn't exist, and no government even has a capability of gathering that information. Yeah. So even before coming there, I knew there will be nothing. Actually, my suspicion was that there would be a synthetic data which would be hard to prove right or wrong. And my shock was there was nothing, absolutely not even this kind of smoke and mirror data. So that was a absolute nothing.
Did he bring a hacker up on stage and say, here's how easy it is to hack into the systems?
I don't know what happened on stage because we experts were locked in the back rooms. So we didn't see what is happening on the stage.
Was it a public event or was it a private event?
I think it was a private event because it was invitation only. And like he didn't even want to have hackers.
Right.
He was putting different rules who are qualified. But then he told publicly that media and elected officials can bring their own experts. So I was never invited there by Mike Lindell. I was actually brought in by CNN because they were the media who got me in.
Got it. So CNN was able to get you in, but you were not fully in there to see what was going on. So on one end,
none of the experts.
Right. So on one end, you believe the top 50 hackers at DEF CON could hack into any one of the machines that they have, including the latest one. Yet at the same time, you don't believe the Mike Lindell's theories were anything that there was any credibility behind it. So both positions is what you're taking. Okay.
Correct.
Great.
And I want to say that's one thing what was so hilariously funny about Mike Lindell's statement, because he was showing that he had claimed the data. He has the data how every single place was hacked. And one of the list was all 320 jurisdictions of New Hampshire. Well, the problem is, out of the 320 jurisdictions, 123 uses no computers whatsoever. It's a pure hand count, no computers. Yet he claimed that he has an evidence how these places were hacked by Chinese. They don't have computers. There's nothing to be hacked.
Right, but the part, again, two things can be right and wrong at the same time.
Correct.
You're not saying the machines are impossible to hack. You're saying we can hack every one of them. But at the same time, you're saying what he's saying was not accurate. There was not a lot of proof there. Okay, so let's put those out there for the audience to know where we're at with that, right?
Correct. And I have to say one thing. Every single independent study where we have had access to voting machines, 100% of the voting machines have been hacked. So, and that's going to be every computer in the world can be hacked if you have access and no mitigation. Now, when we've hacked the machines, that is for the purpose that we can improve. And if you cannot improve the system, then you have to improve everything around the system, have a mitigation strategy, how you defend the system, either by having it tamper evident or preventing the access what hackers need. But there's always a way to try to mitigate. But we really, really have to get this more secure so that the machines, there's less requirement for mitigation.
You think there's certain people that almost don't want it to be fixed?
I have to say that I'm very worried for initiatives now when jurisdictions in the U.S. are actually disabling and dismantling their own security for a reason that whatever is their reason. So there are these small rogue places where people are actually destroying their own security on purpose.
Destroyed their own security on purpose.
Yes, what I said.
And that's what happens here in the States.
There are states, there are counties where that's actually happening right now.
And all it takes is a couple good counties to be able to flip the vote, right? So,
well, it's even if those cannot flip the vote, the reason here is to deny the result or make a false allocation, disinformation, malinformation. So a lot of this is very dangerous because it is feeding to the distrust of the public. And in democracy, any distrust is damaging the participation. And democracy is all about participation. So if the
distrust?
Distrust is causing apathy. Apathy is something which is detrimental for functioning democracy.
Harri, do you know how you started a podcast? Do you know what you said?
Yes.
What did you say?
I say that I have a trust on the voting and elections.
No, you said always verify, never trust.
Yes.
But hear me out, because you just said at the beginning of the podcast that, hey, never trust.
Correct.
Always verify. And then now you're saying we have to trust because it's bad for democracy.
We have to verify.
Yeah, but you said never trust. You said we should trust a little bit because democracy needs for us to trust the system.
So you have to be able to trust that if the system fails, so if the voting machine fails, you will be always still being able to verify the result and the outcome. And that's why hand-marked paper ballots allows you to do that. No matter what the voting machines are doing, you can always put humans to look every ballot and make sure that the outcome is right.
It's kind of it's...
And by the way, we have had thousands of years of fraud on paper. That's why we are so good in mitigating against fraud on paper. So you just have to make certain that those huge piles of paper is protected physically.
And at the same time, you hear Elon Musk saying the fact that he's not a fan of electronic voting machines as he wades into sensitive Indian debate. Anything can be hacked. This was just a few months ago. I'm sure you saw that. And he's calling for eliminating electric voting machines ahead of U.S. elections, risk of hacking. This is a story, again, for India, and he's concerned about it. A lot of people are concerned about that as well, which I'm sure you can understand why. And then at the same time, while we're going through this, we saw what happened with Dominion when Dominion sued Fox and they had to pay whatever, $780 million. Yet, did you hear about Smartmatic?
I know that company, yes.
You know when Smartmatic, you know how much money they wanted from Fox News? Do you remember the article? So Smartmatic, they wanted, can you go a little lower so we can show what Smartmatic was asking for, Rob, if you have that number? So Smartmatic, zoom in a little bit, this is, by the way, Harri, I appreciate you doing this. Trust me, a lot of people are interested.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are worried, what the hell is going on here? Because it just doesn't make sense. If you can pull up what Smartmatic wanted to ask from, if you type in 2.7, Rob, type in 2.7, okay, for denies wrongdoing and finding New York State, Smartmatic wants $2.7 billion from Fox and other Trump allies that it named in the lawsuit, right? Mm-hmm. So that's this. Now, Rob, if you can go to the story about Smartmatic's founder. Did you see the story about Smartmatic's president? Smartmatic president, two other execs charged with bribing Philippines elections official DOJ. The voting machine company executives allegedly paid $1 million in bribes. This is a month ago, 2 months ago. So this is the part where the American voter is sitting there saying, wait a minute. You just asked for $2.7 billion, accusing everybody of crime. You're the real criminal doing something like this. And ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, everybody's writing about it. So that's where people are conflicted. Is my vote going to count? Can you come back and manipulate it? People don't have a lot of trust in the system today.
That's very good. Yeah. That Smartmatic is not used in the U.S. Because basically, only LA County is using anything to do with the Smartmatic.
But the reason why I'm showing you this is because these guys, they jumped on the bandwagon of Dominion. So I'm making the comparison on the fact that all of these guys want to come out there, act like they're flawless and they're doing everything the right way, and not saying the fact that there's a possibility of somebody tampering with our technology that we have.
Hi, my name is Harri Hursti. I'm a lifelong hacker and security researcher, an engineer with a heart which thinks that impossible is just a state of mind. Connect with me in a minute. I'm here to explain anything you might wonder about election security, critical infrastructure security, cyberspace, cyber warfare, information space, information warfare, and connected warfare. So please ask me questions. Hope to see you there in a minute.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.